welcome everyone to today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion video, where we are going to take a look at the card known as Despair from the Dark. Reason why I went with this is because I chose a random page on the wiki and it came to Destruction Deck Zombie Madness and I just chose one of the cards there, and I remember that Despair from the Dark I really liked as a card. Not necessarily to use it, but a bit for like just what it looked like, and its stats are pretty good for level 8 monster, 2830. But it's possibly somewhat hard to get out, although it can still be normal summon. Let's take a look. It is a zombie type dark attribute monster. It is level 8, 2800 attack, 3000 defense. It can be normal summon or set, so in that sense it's a pretty good level 8, especially if you consider early on in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. 2800 for level 8 was pretty good. The highest you had was 3000 with Blue Eyes White Dragon. So paying 2 tributes and then setting this would mean that under normal conditions, which means no equip spells, field spells, or anything that boosts, or anything like Raigeki or Dark Hole, or Change of Heart, you wouldn't be able to get over Despair from the Dark. So in that sense, it would be a pretty good defense. But if you're just using it for the 3000 defense, use Labyrinth Wall and Millennium Shield. But that's enough about that. It has one effect. When this card is sent from your hand or deck to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, special summon this card. When I just read this just before the video, I thought, okay, Dark World. Because Dark World allows you to discard stuff, and that's for card effects, and then you can use it, right? No. Because it needs to be sent from hand or deck to the grave by an opponent's card effect. Also notice how it doesn't say sent to the grave. It is from hand or deck. So it cannot come from the field. So have it on the field in Raigeki? Sorry, it doesn't work. Unfortunately, I would have liked that, but maybe that would have made him a bit more OP in the beginning of the game. A bit too much, but how would you be able to get it out? Well, you can't really use your own card effects, but maybe you can set yourself up for it. If you know the opponent's playing Dark Worlds, they may have a few cards have you discard stuff like Escape from the Different Dimension. No, that's different. That's a quick play. There's a spell that has you draw one card and then you look at the opponent's hand or something. No, you look at the opponent's hand, discard something from it, then everyone draws one card. The thing is, then your opponent looks at your hand and they won't probably discard Despair from the Dark because you know, like they know you'll be getting it back. Vampires. If you're playing against vampires, if vampires deal damage, quite a few of them, like things like, well, Vampire Lord, Vampire's Curse, maybe, I'm not sure, but Vampire Lord and Vampire Lady definitely have this effect. When they deal battle damage, they declare a card name. No, they declare a card type. So that's monster, spell, or trap, and you send one of that to the grave. Possibly your opponent would say monster, possibly spells, possibly trap, depending on what you're using. But if they declare monster, and you have Despair from the Dark in your deck, then you just look through your deck, you select your Despair from the Dark, place it in the graveyard, and be like, hey, that was your effect that sent it from my deck to the graveyard. This thing met its trigger condition. Activate special summon. You get a free monster. So that's pretty cool. What other card would force the opponent to discard it? Yeah. Let's think. Force discards. Vampires. I want to say Foolish Burial, but that doesn't work. I suppose you could always use something like Foolish Burial, send it to the grave, or other effects, but then you'd still need something like Call of the Haunted to bring it back. Which should still be pretty cool, because pretty high stats and stuff, but nah. Its effect isn't necessarily good. You might as well just send Blue Eyes White Dragon and deal some more damage with that, I don't know. It also depends on, like, if you're running a zombie deck, then maybe this, or dark. It's a level 8, so trade-in can be used. It's a dark, so you can use for Lure of Darkness. It's the level 8 zombie. There's Zombie Stein, so if you play this, you could use Zombie Stein, but you can also use Valgran and the 2000 attack thing. They can direct attack. I know there's a weaker version of this card. I think it's a level 4. I don't remember entirely for certain, but pretty sure it's a level 4. Similar name. I think it's similar effects. Obviously lower stats. That's all I can think of. There has to be more to be said about this. Let's look at the tips and trivia and then I'll go back to the card. Double cousin first monarch, yeah. Trade in, allure, then revive it with escape. Right, yeah, because if you banish it for Allure of Darkness, then it's banished, so you can just give it a Dark Dimension to bring it back. So that could be a combo, especially if you run more cards that could banish your Dark monsters, then you can use that. Vampire Lord, Vampire Lady, yep, did mention that. Zombie deck. Deal with Dark Root, Special Berserk Dragon. Let's see, deal with Dark Ruler. Level 8 higher, once you control sent to the grave this turn. Have summon Berserk Dragon from your hand or deck. Okay. Why specifically this card? Oh, because it's level 8 or higher? Oh, no. Dark Deal, randomly chosen to be special summon automatically. I guess so. See what the details on that were. Normal spell, pay 1,000 life into your opponent discard from a random card. So yeah, you could use Dark Deal, or pretty sure there's also an artifact. No, the artifact during the auction makes them destroy a card. But yeah, you could use Dark Deal, but use it if you only have Despair from the Dark in your hand. That you force them to discard it. That would be good. You can give your opponent a Vampire Lord or Vampire Lady with creature stock. Wait until they attack and declare the monster type. They might not declare a monster, or they attribute it. I'm not gonna build a deck with this card and just build around giving them this. That's not. That's too situational. Fable deck can be brought out with the help of Fable to Deianira. Let's put during the effect. The first normal spell card your opponent activates becomes your opponent discards one card. I like that they have the extra explanation. I think it's clear enough, but can be there for clarity. Can be used with that, sure. I still don't see this being used in any competitive deck, but who knows, eventually it will happen. Like as some other cards. Is it Super Rejuvenation? That wasn't used in any competitive deck, but then Dragon Rulers came around and everyone wanted it. Wind Up Hunter loop deck, send a card from hand to grave, summon it with deck position. Oh yeah. Wind Up Hunter would then send the card to the grave and you can get a free card. Stellar Devil's Decision can have defense. Sure, but it also defends against Blue Eyes and anything else. But if you discard a Grapha, then it's still destroyed and you're not gonna get it back. So I don't feel that's a great tip. But I suppose it is true, but you could say it about a lot of decks. Especially some discard with the Call of the Mummy if you've no other monsters. But you can as well with so many other zombies. But it is also true for this one. Yep. Trivia. Let's see. Artworks. So 4 different cards. Staunch Defender. That's him. Just guess, but then purple. Zombie World. This is Soul Absorbing Bone Tower. This is Bone Mouse. Right here. Where is he? Oh, this is him. This is Despair from the Dark. Got it. That's probably be more or less like see a rat-ish thing here, and so this something like a bat creature here. Yeah, I do see him. Anyway, Battle Root. Okay. And then Backup Rider. Same purple thing, but that's like the story of like Freed and Marauding Captain. That's what the first card is all. And the weaker counterpart, Fear from the Dark. Indeed a similar name. It was indeed level 4. Remember, when this card is sent from your hand or deck to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect special on this card. Pretty sure that's the exact same card text. So yeah, it went from level 8 to 4, and then from 2830 to 1715. I would use this card earlier because it's still a pretty decent beater. Highest defensible zombie type monsters? Still? Oh. And all of its anime appearances only been discarded. Anime. I want to see that. Like anime appearances. Not like that. Appearances. Chaz used it, sends it to the grave to destroy Tempest. Decked hand for Genesis Crisis. Remains in hand. Sends go for hand to go from level 7. Use it to unrank level 7. Generally, Chaz. Okay, so quite a few things to say about Despair from the Dark. I wouldn't say it is a card that is too competitively viable. However, I like it. Maybe it's the artwork or something. Something about it I like. I don't really know what. Anyway, if let me know what you think of the card. If it's just the artwork, the stats, or maybe you remember using it in a deck back in the day that you were really happy about, whether it was a competitively strong deck or not. Then for the rest, this was the video for today. Hope you liked it, and I'm going to see you in the video tomorrow. Goodbye.